I remember when World War II was announced as the next Call of Duty after Infinite Warfare, and I was so pleased. I was so excited. My kind of journey through Call of Duty began very late in the cycle, so I came back to consoles very late, and I came back with Advanced Warfare, where we had jumping around and boost jumping and things like that. Well, I quite enjoyed it, but I understood that boots on the ground was very important. And then we had Black Ops 3, which again we had wall running and double jumping, but I enjoyed it because the gunfighting was good. And at that point, I was super into Call of Duty, really into Call of Duty. My YouTube channel was all about Call of Duty. I've gone back and I played the campaigns in the older Call of Duties, the original Modern Warfares, and I was so hyped for Infinite Warfare, and pre-ordered it, did all that sort of stuff, and it came out, and I was like, this is terrible. This is really bad. And I probably only played that game for probably about 2 hours maximum, and normally I would put hundreds, if not thousands of hours into Call of Duty. So then, when Infinite Warfare kind of went through its cycle, we then had World War II, and it looked really exciting, really good to go back to boots on the ground gameplay with proper weapons, no silly skill streaks, no robots, nothing like that. And we played the beta, and it was exciting, it was good, but there was a feeling that the maps were a little bit too small. But again, things could probably change for when the full release came out. So pre-ordered it, did all that sort of stuff, and then the game came out, and we had great graphics, we had good gunplay, we had a reasonably fast time to kill, but the maps were way too small. I don't know what happened with this with Sledgehammer when they created World War II, but it could have been the best Call of Duty in a long time. Instead, it was an okay Call of Duty, but because lots of the maps were so tight, you basically most of the time you had to go with a run and gun style gameplay, or like SMGs and assault rifles, or lock down parts of the back of the map with LMGs and sniper rifles, and that was so disappointing. And it was such a real missed opportunity. So now we've got Modern Warfare 2019, and I'm super happy to say that what we've now got is the great gunplay, with proper machine guns. We've got M16s versus AKs, that era. We've got the Modern Warfare era. We've got no boost jumping. We've got no running on walls. We have got a little bit of sliding, but I'm cool with that. And we've got a great Call of Duty. So if you liked Call of Duty World War II, you're really gonna like Modern Warfare 2019. Now, I can understand. There's also the fact that if you didn't like COD World War II, but you like Call of Duty, you'll definitely like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019, because it kind of ticks all the boxes. Classic gunplay, nice simple class setups and score streak setups, nice big maps. Now the maps, they're not the Treyarch style three lane maps, which I've got to admit, I enjoy the Treyarch maps, because it's easier to predict where enemies are going to be coming from, where the spawns are, that sort of stuff. The maps in Modern Warfare are much more convoluted and complicated, more like real places. But what that does is, in Modern Warfare, it can encourage more of a camping playstyle. So you'll find people who go into rooms and they'll lock it down with a couple of claymores, and then they'll sit by the window sniping or machine gunning people as they go past. So that's not brilliant fun, that. But it's quite fun when you're doing it, because you're getting lots of kills. But if you keep getting killed by claymores and people like that, then that can be a pain. And we didn't have that much in World War II. I know we had a little bit with the bouncing bombs, didn't we? The mines, the S mines that would flick up. Also, at the moment as well, and remember, I'm just basing this on the beta, it appears that the customization options are fairly tame compared to what happened anyway in Call of Duty World War II. When Call of Duty World War II came out, Sledgehammer, especially the guys behind Sledgehammer, like the CEO, and that, they were very much giving you the message that they were respecting the era of World War II, respecting the people who fought and died in World War II, and wanted to have a similar, well, they wanted to have a respectful tone to the game. But I mean, they accepted that this is, it's a video game, and you're running around. But what actually happened with Call of Duty World War II, and the only thing I can think this is the influence of Activision, wanting money, is that the skins slowly got more and more outlandish. Till now, if you go into Call of Duty World War II and go into a lobby, there's people in basically Halloween costumes, which has got absolutely nothing to do with World War II at all. And even the maps, we had ended up with one of the maps was set on the beach, and you were playing as a toy soldier, while the guy who run, I think the quartermaster guy, or the guy who handed out the missions, was trying to burn you to death with a magnifying glass with using the sun. And it's like, well, Ben, how does that show respect for the World War II era and what went on there? And at the moment, it appears we don't seem to have that in Modern Warfare 2019. But as we know, often what happens with these games, they come out in one way to please the critics and please the hardcore fans, but to keep the money flowing in over the life cycle of the game, they'll start introducing more and more outlandish cosmetics. So, we'll have to see. The other thing that's better, I think, in Modern Warfare 2019 is the class setups seem a lot simpler. It started to get very complicated in Call of Duty World War II, where you had the different loads of different classes. You had you had the armoured guy, you had the airborne guy, you had the resistance guys. In the end, they even had a guy who could have a shield, and I don't remember seeing like a ballistic shield. I don't remember seeing any World War II footage or evidence that anybody was using ballistic shields in World War II. And the list of perks, actually, if you remember COD World War II, when you look at the different perks you could have, it would fill the screen. You'd have to scroll off the screen looking at all these things, and there'd even be little warnings by some of them that would say, all right, you've got airborne is your class, so don't put this perk on because there's no point. And it's like, well, this is way too complicated. And at the moment, there's a hand in Modern Warfare, there's a hand full of perks. There's no classes in terms of different types of soldiers. There's classes in terms of what you look like, but it's just, the cosmetics of what you look like, the gun you've got, the customizations you make to the gun, and your loadout, and that's it, which I think is really nice. Because I always think that the best gunfighting games are often the ones that give you less choice, because then you can't blame not doing well on having the wrong setup. You're not constantly looking on YouTube for what is the best setup for this gun and this class. You just kind of got to accept that, actually, I'm not that particularly good at this, I need to practice, and then you get better that way. So that's all very exciting as well. So when we're comparing Call of Duty World War II with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019, I think, anyway, in my opinion, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019 is a much better Call of Duty, because we have all this simpler setup. But the main reason is the maps. We have these really big, nice maps, and it's just a shame. It's such a shame, isn't it, that World War II didn't have these really, really big maps. Otherwise, I think it would have been much better received, and I know I would have played a lot more of it anyway. Okay, so in conclusion then, if you enjoy COD World War II, you'll definitely enjoy Modern Warfare 2019. If you didn't enjoy COD World War II, but you enjoy Call of Duty in general, you're definitely going to enjoy Modern Warfare. In fact, if you enjoy shooters in general, you're going to really enjoy COD Warfare 2019. So that's enough from me. You can always put your questions and comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe, that normal stuff. What I'm going to do now is I've just let the video and the gameplay carry on, so you can watch more of the comparisons between Modern Warfare 2019 and COD World War II. And yeah, well, I'll see you again soon.
Jaguar 3-0, missile away. Friendly UAV overhead. Securing Bravo. Direct hit. Securing Bravo. Enemy personal radar. Allied cruise missile away. Securing B. We're on Bravo, stand by. Friendly UAV overhead. Securing Bravo. They've got 2 objectives. Keep it. Enemy cruise missile incoming. Take cover. We've got Bravo.
Enemy flamethrower observed. Get to cover.
Er kommt aus der Deckung! Werfe Betäubungsgranaten!
Losing Bravo. Enemy personal radar in the air. We've lost Bravo. Reloading. Enemy UAV overhead. Friendly UAV overhead. Securing Charlie. Captured Charlie. You're needed at Alpha. We've lost Alpha. Reloading. Cruise missile incoming. Take cover.
Incoming enemy artillery. Get to cover. Enemy care package observed. Deny the enemy resupply.
Keine Munition mehr!
Enemy mortar fire incoming. Fall back. Incoming enemy artillery. Get to cover.
We've got a UAV on station, ready for flyover.
This is Jaguar 3-0. Solid copy. UAV beginning flyover.
Enemy holds 2 objectives. Take them back. Enemy UAV overhead. Personal radar in the air. Cruise missile, go for launch.
Be advised, UAV. RTV for resupply.
Securing Bravo.
This is Jaguar 2-0. Missile away. Nice shot, good kill.
UAV overhead. We're on Bravo. Stand by. Securing them. Friendly enemy personal radar in the air. Reloading. Enemy UAV. Allied cruise missile away. We're taking Bravo.
Enemy bomb incoming. Get to cover. Keep this up and you will find yourself on the Eastern Front. Securing Bravo. Friendly UAV overhead. We're losing control. Enemy personal radar in the air. Enemy cruise missile incoming. Take cover. We've got a UAV on station. Ready for football.
This is Jaguar 3-0. Solid copy. UAV beginning flyover.
Securing Alpha.
Reloading.
Enemy UAV overhead. Assist your team at Charlie. Captured Alpha. Get it together. This ain't over yet. You're needed at Alpha.
Be advised, UAV is bingo fuel.
Lost Charlie. Friendly UAV overhead. Hostiles are taking Alpha.
Watch out!
Enemy holds all objectives. Retake those points. We're on Bravo. Stand by. It's over. We're RTB. Move out.